Hi, good morning everybody. It's about time I do a video. Here it is. I'm going to give you my first round predictions, guys. I won't drag it out. I'll keep it in a good distance, this video. As the Stanley Cup playoffs are hours away. Once again, we're not in it, but I meant to do this last night and one thing led to another, couldn't do it. So I am doing it this morning. Right now it is give take about 9 o'clock and let's get on it, guys. I'm going to start with the East, okay? I'm not going to do the whole bracket because there's no point in that. It's kind of stupid because I'm going to be wrong about some teams, right? So there's no point in me doing a bracket. I'll just do it round to round, the predictions. Okay, in the East, the first series, Tampa Bay at Florida to start the series. I think the Panthers, if anything, proved to us last year they can be a playoff team, whereas Tampa Bay can be a real stubborn team. They hung around, they finished good. Vasilevsky, we know what he's capable of come playoff time. I will give still the edge to Tampa Bay in goaltending, but I'm going to go with Florida, guys. I'm going to say Florida is going to win this in 6 games. Mostly because Tampa Bay is getting older, folks. That's really the #1 reason. And everybody's favorite, Boston. Toronto at Boston. I was going to say Boston at Toronto. Toronto at Boston. If anything, this, I think, gives the Leafs the edge. They don't got to start at home. There's less pressure on them. But I think what will happen very quickly in this series is that the Bruins are going to make them feel pressure. I mean, they haven't beaten them since, what, the 50s or something, right? It's a long time since they beat them. I've never seen the Bruins in my lifetime lose a series to Toronto, ever. Now, it's not like they play year in and year out, but the last decade or so, we've seen quite a few times. Toronto, I think, is ready to break any kind of curse. They're a really good team. They really are. But I think they've relied on the Big Four. It's been an illusion, not a reality. That's how I feel about Toronto. I think, again, they're going to pay the price for the John Tavares contract 1 more year. I'm going to say in this series, I'm going to go with Boston. Boston in 6. Yeah, I don't think Toronto will even put them to distance. I think Boston is too mentally strong for them. But then again, if Toronto beat them in the series, will I be shocked? Not really, because they ended the jinx last year kind of with Tampa Bay, and maybe this year they'll do it with Boston, because Boston, it's an aging team also when it comes to their main core. So, but I am still going to go with the Bruins. I think they're too mentally strong for Toronto. Boston in 6. Rangers have the home ice against the Capitals. I'm doing this cold, guys. This isn't premeditated. The next series, I kind of have an idea who I thought's going to win. It's the only one. I'm just going with this as we go along. I've got glass dust in my nose, guys. It's a long story. Somebody smashed a window downstairs, and what a mess. So I got Washington going to New York to take on the Rangers. That's you know what, the Capitals, I don't think are going to win this series. I think the Rangers will prevail in this series. Rangers are looking good right now, and it'd have to be a major choke job on the Rangers to lose this series. But I think they're going to put up a fight. I think the Capitals are going to push this 7. I do. I think the Capitals will push this 7 and scare the Rangers. That might even go to Game 7 in overtime. But I think the Rangers will be destined to move on, is what I'm saying. But I could picture the Capitals, perhaps their last playoffs ever with Ovechkin, putting up a fight that none of us expect. I don't think that series will be a wash. I think that is going to go right to the distance, right to the final minutes of Game 7. I can picture that series. But I'm going to say Rangers in 7. Okay, Islanders at Carolina. I think the Hurricanes are due to break through and win the Stanley Cup. You guys have known for like a year or two. Well, yeah, the last 2 years I picked Carolina to win. I'm not doing that this year. No, I don't think Carolina is, unless, folks, they do something physically in the playoffs I'm not expecting, like Colorado did. I'll know. I'll spot it right away. If all of a sudden Carolina start going crazy and physical, That means Brind'Amour has them really ready, okay? The thing is, I don't have any faith in Brind'Amour when it comes to having a team physically ready. I just don't. I think the Islanders upset the Hurricanes in 6 games, game 6 in overtime on Long Island to close it out. And I could see the fans going nuts because it's a big upset. It's not that monster of an upset because the Islanders have as much playoff experience as this Carolina team does. And the Islanders twice came 1 win from the finals. The Hurricanes can't say that. There's some gritty veterans on this Islanders team that look ready to play. And the nod for sure goes to the Islanders goaltending. So I am going to go with the Islanders in an upset in 6 games over Carolina. That's my upset in the East. All right, let's go to the West. Dallas, Vegas is in Dallas. I got to quit saying that. Well, I'm going to just start with the bottom teams point on. So Vegas and Dallas. Vegas and Dallas. This is a bit of a tough one because the defending champs against Dallas who look really, really ready to do something. And the truth is, guys, I'm just not a believer in Dallas. I'm not a believer in Dallas. I think Vegas is going to be kind of like the Boston Bruins of that conference. I think Vegas is going to be mentally strong and ready to win this series. I think Vegas are going to upset Dallas in 6 games. I just do. And there's no specific reason because they've got, we know they got goaltending in Dallas. But I seen that series last year when they played Vegas and they couldn't compete with them mentally. It wasn't physically, it was mentally. They couldn't handle them. Neither could goaltending. But again, it really depends on goaltending this series, right? This is going to be a series of goaltending. It's really a tough one to tell. I just think Vegas is mentally a stronger team than Dallas, and that's what's going to prevail. And you guys will know, I'm not really giving specific reasons. Sometimes it's just a gut feeling because it's the playoffs, guys. Anybody can beat anybody. So I'm going with Vegas in that series in an upset in 6 games. Colorado at Winnipeg. This is a tough one because, let's face it, Colorado definitely got the horses. As far as I'm concerned, when you look at their record, they kind of underachieve where they finish. Colorado, as we know, have Stanley Cup experience, but at the same time, Winnipeg look like a team that could be ready to break through. If you're going to pick a Canadian franchise that can win the Stanley Cup, this is one of them for sure. I would pick them over Toronto as a better chance of a Canadian team winning. But I think, again, I'm going to fall back on Colorado. I think Colorado is going to be too much with their experience and just their talent over Winnipeg. And I don't think Hellebuck will be able to carry the whole series. And I think he's going to have to if they're going to upset, in my opinion, upset Colorado. I'm going to go with Colorado here. I think Colorado's going to get on a run. 4-1 for Colorado. No, because Winnipeg has the home ice. Hold off on that thought. 4-2. Yeah, I'll pick Winnipeg to lose in 6 in this series. Colorado, right. Winnipeg have the home ice, so I picture Colorado wrapping it up at home. 4-2, Colorado. I got to go with the Avalanche in that series. I don't see it as an upset, though. Nashville at Vancouver. This is going to be a big one, guys. This is going to be one for... This is a huge series in Canucks history right here. I always say time evens up things in sports. Remember in 2012 when the Kings went into Vancouver, and Vancouver were heavily favored to win that series, and the Kings went in there, I believe, swept them 4 straight, didn't they? I believe it was 4 straight. And sorry guys, I just showered trying to get any of this powder off of me. I think this time around it's going to be, history can repeat itself. This could be an upset. This Nashville team has the goaltending for sure, but so do Vancouver. And Vancouver, I don't think we're any kind of a fluke this year. I'm going to say Canucks in 7 in that series. I'm going to go with the Canucks still. I don't think the Canucks are going to go very much deeper than the first round. I just don't. But I can't see them choking up in the first round after the season they just had. But it could happen. This is where the Canucks, I think, we all know the true colors of a team come playoff time is the true colors of a team. So Nashville had a good year though, so it wouldn't be a monster upset, but it would be a pretty big upset if Vancouver lost that series still. It still would be kind of a big upset. Vancouver in 7. That is what I said, right? Yeah, Vancouver in 7. Here we go again, the Kings and the Oilers. Now this is the last series I'll talk about. The Kings and the Oilers, you know, the pressure's really on Edmonton here. A lot of pressure because they've beaten the Kings, what, the last 2 years, right? You gotta figure the Oilers have all the pressure on them, whereas the Kings, they kind of fell out of grace. Remember, they were looking really good as a top team in the league, and then they kind of fell down, and then they picked themselves back up and made sure they got a solid position in the playoffs. I think the Kings would have been better off playing a team like, well, you know, it might have suited them better maybe to play like a Dallas or something. You know, I'm just thinking like or Vancouver even. But hey, look, you know, they're going to take what, you know, whatever place they got. So they're in, they're ready to play. This could be an upset. This could be the Kings upsetting the Oilers. I'm going to go with the Oilers specifically because Connor McDavid's on their team. So I'm going to go with the Oilers. If the Oilers are ready to make a Stanley Cup run, and I think they might be, I'm going to go with the Oilers in 5 in that series. But I won't be surprised if that goes 7 but if the Oilers are really getting ready maybe to win a Stanley Cup this year, because they could. They've got the personnel to do it. If they get any kind of serious goaltending, we know you don't have to have the best goalie to win the Stanley Cup. Vegas is proof of that last year. You know, one and done goalie, really. So those are my picks, guys. I got, in a nutshell, I'll do it briefly. I got Florida, Boston, the Rangers, the Islanders moving on in the East. And in the West, I got the Golden Knights, the Avalanche, the Canucks, and the Oilers moving on in the West. See how I get it, guys? Done for this one. I'll see you guys starting tomorrow. For those of you that are here, I will be starting tomorrow. I'll be starting the early bird videos where I report on the previous night's games because I want to watch all of them. So I will be doing the early bird video tomorrow. And hopefully I'll see you in that one. Till then, guys, let me know your picks. See you then.